What's up, YouTube? It's me again, the Wicked Diamond, and today we're going to be diving back into the past. So, sorry about the quality of these next few clips. I was in the car with my mom, and it was late at night. We were coming home from soccer, so she started telling me some childhood stories, so I pulled out my camera and started filming them because, let me tell you right now, I had a wacky childhood, and I'm still a child, technically, so maybe we'll make some more memories, but yeah. So here's this week's video. Sorry I was late. I just kept forgetting to film. That's not true. I was lazy and didn't want to. So I hope you guys enjoy these next few clips and learn a little bit more about my childhood, maybe why I'm the way I am right now. So I'll see you then.
We were at the swimming pool, which you usually like to go to anyways, and you would walk with me and we'd walk down to the pool, and most of the time Megan was with us too. Well, so we were at the pool and you're playing in the water in the big part of the pool, and I think you had a floaty device or something, but there was this lifeguard there, this young man who was kind of seemed a little goofy or something. And so we're sitting there in the water playing, and a neighbor was there too, I think, and Megan. And then you said, "Is that the jack?" or something like that. And we're like, "Oh, yeah, oh my gosh," you know, and you said it really loud. So I think that guy even heard you at the pool, and because there weren't that many people there. And oh my gosh, it was so crazy.
That's
and we're
great.
like, I can't believe she said that, and she used it just right, you know. It's like, but yeah.
Oh my god.
Yes, and you'd heard the phrase before too, but
I wonder who.
well, I don't think it was me. Maybe, yeah, I don't think so, but
No, not you.
I try not to swear around you guys.
As you
Anyways,
swear
so
twice.
you used it. Yep, I know. That was for the story, though.
Childhood stories,
You may,
am I right?
you may swipe that from the record.
What about the time you found the dresser falling on me?
Oh my god, it gave me a heart attack. I was looking for you, calling your name, and you weren't answering, and then I walked up the stairs. I think you were like 3 by then. And you had the room with the your room was the room with the mural on it with all the animals.
Yeah, my old room?
So yeah.
Okay.
So walking straight there, I
Oh,
started walking
Logan's
in the
room.
room, and I said, "You can't climb." And then as I'm saying it, you're climbing up the dresser, and it starts to fall right on you. And I grab it and said, "Oh my gosh, that's so dangerous!" And it was a light dresser, not much in it, but
because it was
still,
Meadows, wasn't it?
it cracked. It's Meadows now, but it's been glued together.
Cracked?
It cracked the dresser.
So that's why.
That's why
It's
it's
got the glue. Okay, that makes more
But
sense now.
because you tried
The
to
truth comes
climb
out.
it for no reason.
I was such a crazy child, wasn't I?
And it started falling, and oh my gosh, I was right there. I grabbed you and grabbed it up, and oh man, I was so scared that you got hurt by it, but you were fine.
Do you have any other wacky stories?
Not that I can think of right now.
I have this one memory, and so I would, like, you know how we used to have that home phone by the back door?
Yeah.
So I have this memory of every single time the phone rang, and this was when I was like 4 or 5, because that's what I remember. I would run to the phone and just scream "effing Broncos" at the phone,
No, you
and then run
didn't.
away. I don't know. That's just a memory I have,
That's
so it
one
might
of
be
your
like.
dreams from walking in your sleep.
Oh, you want to tell the story about me walking into the wall? That
When
one's
was
great.
How many years ago was that? It was probably
I can't remember.
7 years.
7 years?
ago.
Something like that.
Yeah,
Long
because it was
time.
before Logan was born.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
So 7 years ago. Mm-hmm.
So I heard some noise, and I went to go see, and you walked up to the wall outside of my room, and I heard you talking or something. But you walked up to the wall, and facing the wall really close, you started saying, "Meadow, get out of the way! Meadow, move! Get out of the way, Meadow!" And I said, "Jasmine, I think you're asleep." And then you're like,
what about that one time? Because I was like semi-conscious for that one, and I walked into your room and I was like, Mom, and I was like really freaking out, and you go, Jazz, I think you're asleep. And I'm like, no, Mom, I'm not asleep. Something's happening.
I really know something in this.
Yeah.
I think it was the swimming in the flower bed or something like that. I was like, what? And the sucker is the girl, and she said, don't you know, Mom? That didn't make any sense. I was like, and
So,
you're
yeah, I was a
arguing with
sleep-talking
me, but that was
sleepwalker.
more recent. That was like
That was like 2 years ago.
4 years ago.
4 years ago? Oh, it seems a lot more recent. I remember one time I was sleeping in my bed, and then this was like 3 or 4 years ago too. I was sleeping in my bed, and I decided I didn't want to sleep in my bed anymore, so I walked all the way downstairs and started sleeping on the couch.
That's how you ended up on the couch.
And then I
So you
decided,
remembered?
wait, no, I'm too cold to sleep here. So I walked back up to my room, and I grabbed like my big blanket, one of my biggest blankets from my bed, and I walked back downstairs, and I curled up on the couch, and I fell asleep.
Oh,
See, that's
fuck.
the one I do remember. It was great.
Not for me, not for your mother.
I was a
finding out
wild
you got
child.
downstairs and don't know how you got there. That's scary.
What about the one time? Who was it? Meadow fell down the stairs.
Meadow fell?
Yeah, and I think I pushed her.
No.
I was like really
Did you?
little. I think I was really little or something, and I think I pushed her down. I either tripped or I pushed her down the stairs, and she fell down the stairs, and she fell all the way down to like the gate.
Oh no.
It was either that or she was like leaning into the gate, and she like toppled the gate or something. I don't remember. It was when we were really little.
Oh my gosh.
But I have a lot of memories that probably aren't true. So.
Okay, so I was pregnant with Logan, and I was working or had classes or something, so
Get it closer to you.
I had to drive, and you guys had to meet me. Dad brought you and Meadow to the appointment for the ultrasound, and when she was going around looking at the baby in the tummy,
Yeah.
and she said, it's a boy, and we looked, and he was peeing, and you could see the pee-pee, the urine going up and coming back down.
Oh my
And we
god.
were all laughing, and you said, he's peed on you.
That sounds like something
That's so
I would
funny.
say as a
'Cause
little kid.
How old would you have been? You would have just been turning 6, I think.
Ooh. Do you remember? Because I want to hear your point of view of my scar right on my forehead.
Oh my gosh.
I want to hear your point of view because I know my point of view.
There's that one, and then there's the scar at the eye.
I have a scar in my eye.
It's not really, only it turns a little bit red when you're, that one came first, the one under the other eye.
What happened to my eye?
When we were, it was another time me and you were going to the pool, and you were about 2 years old, and you were running because you were so excited to go, and somewhere on the sidewalk, somehow they have those slippery areas.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's what happened. Otherwise, you caught your foot on the side of the sidewalk when you were running, and you went flying in, and you scraped your eye. And I said, oh, maybe we should go home and we'll get you fixed up. And you're crying, and you're like, no, I want to go to the pool. And so we went to the pool and got like some from the lifeguard.
So
to make
I
sure
was
it was cleaned up.
bleeding.
Well, it wasn't bleeding out. It was scraped. Really
So I was scraped.
scraped like yucky, and you still wanted to go to the pool, so we went to the pool and saw if we could get something from the lifeguard.
The truth comes out.
And you still wanted to play in the pool, and you still didn't want to come home.
Well,
So that was that first eye thing. And
okay, so I have a
then when you would get upset, it would turn a little bit pinkish there, reddish
Oh.
along by under your eye, but it
Where's
wasn't
my
that
other
deep
scar?
a
My other
wound
scar-
as
where is
the.
it?
wasn't as
Right.
deep as the.
If you like
you got
rub my
stitches
forehead, you
in.
can feel it.
Yeah.
Sort of. I never
So
dragged
that
my
was
finger
this
in.
little blue cup we got from an old lady.
No, it
we
was
used to
red. I thought
visit.
it was.
Little blue cup.
Oh, it was the blue one?
You probably saw red. So we were
Yeah.
out back. Dad was working in the garden, and I had finished helping him, and I was worried about having my hands dirty, because then what if you guys needed something? So I had washed my hands.
Foreshadowing!
And I turn around, and Meadow picks up that little blue cup, which you guys used for just playing with the dirt or whatever, and she just threw it, and it hit your head, and your hand a towel and to hold your head down.
It's bumpy.
So then, I think Dad drove and I held you with the towel on your head.
Yeah.
And then we traded off when we got to the hospital, and he held you and kept the towel on your head. And we had to sit there waiting for the doctor. So I signed us in and gave him the insurance card and stuff.
Yeah.
And we had to wait like a really long time because your head wasn't bleeding bad. But
I remember it bleeding like really bad.
at first it looks like a lot. It's not as bad because it just anywhere on that's thin by the forehead, anything on the face can bleed really bad, or the mouth.
Yeah.
So then when you had to get stitches, Dad sat down and the lady had to wrap you up in something to keep you from
Dad
moving
said it
at
was a
all.
straitjacket.
It's
They
like
put me in a
it's like
straitjacket. Yeah.
And and I stayed by you.
I
didn't
remember
wanna
singing
leave you
the
alone, and you were
ABCs
like,
and counting.
crying and stuff. And then there's a nurse and the doctor, and like they had to put a shot, and it made the fluid come out. And I was like, oh my gosh. And I just stayed with you, and then they did the sewing up, and I could see the needle going through the skin, and I was like, and I just stayed with you until it was all over and you started to calm down.
Do you think that's why I'm so terrified of shots now?
Maybe.
Like, I'm still terrified.
You gotta kind of reach in and find how to work through that fear. But anyways, because it's not as bad as...
So, from my memory, Meadow and I were tossing the cup back and forth to each other. Okay?
Oh.
And then I ducked behind Zoe one of the times, and she was taking a little while. So I popped up right as she threw it, and it hit my forehead, and kind of that happened.
Just that bottom edge was
hit me
hard enough.
What about that time I stepped in a hole on the sidewalk while we were on a walk and I scraped my entire shin, and that was like 6 inches, right?
Yeah, I thought that was Megan.
No, that was me.
That was you.
That was me.
Megan got pulled by Zoe when Zoe pulled her off the leash, and the dog pulled her along the ground for a while, and she got scraped up really bad on her body.
Yeah. So
yours, it was there, and I think that hole is still there.
Yeah,
There's a cover that moves and stuff, but it's in the middle of the sidewalk.
Yeah, and there wasn't a cover on it. And I remember, ooh, that looks interesting. So I stuck my foot in it.
Did you really?
Yeah, and I couldn't get my foot back out. So I was a bit too curious one time. Okay, so you weren't there for this one.
Okay.
I think you and Dad were both in the house. I was riding my bike, okay? And so I was riding it, and I looked behind me, no cars. So I continue riding. And then all of a sudden I hear like the noise of a car behind me, and I turn around, there's a car like right behind me. Like very, very close. Like this distance or so. While I was still playing basketball, so like 7 or 8. So I tried to go up the curb, and my tires, so if like this was my tire and the curb was right here.
You want a smoothie or you don't want?
Yeah, let's get a smoothie. So my tires ran along the side of the curb. So instead of going up like they normally would, they ran along the side, and my bike tipped. And so instead of using my hands to catch me, I used my elbows. And so this elbow right here, it probably doesn't show, because it wasn't really that bad, but I got like that entire elbow was just bloody, and we had to have like a gauze on it for a good 4 weeks. And so while I was playing basketball, they were like, sweetie, you have a white band on, you shouldn't be guarding the red player. And I was like, wait, but no, I have the red band on. They're like, oh, sorry. This is really funny. That's going to be all for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed learning a little bit about my past. Click here to see my last video. Click here to subscribe, and bye!